What makes a game old school?
That, as you can probably tell, is a complicated question. And that's why it gets asked so frequently, I think, because like I don't even know anymore. I mean, you could just answer simply like, well, you know it when you see it or something like that, but that's kind of a cop-out. For me personally, old school, my kind of old school, is interwoven with rules light stuff. And I know there are plenty of old school games out there that are not rules light, that are very crunchy, very complicated, and a lot of math or advanced calculus or whatever. To me, I know that is technically old school because it is old, but to me that's not my kind of old school. And when you're specifically talking about the OSR, the old school Renaissance, I'm thinking of, going back to the first question, the basic and basic expert sets of D&D that came out in the early 80s. And you just kind of like extrapolate from there. For instance, the VengerCon, it's primarily for old school OSR and traditional role-playing games. And, basically it's immersion focused. And I think a lot of new school and modern gaming breaks away from immersion. And immersion is not the most important thing in those games or to those types of players. And I think that's the central divide. Because as long as we're being immersed and we feel like, to some degree, we're in that world, we are these characters, we're playing this, like all this on some other level of reality is real, then I don't care if you use only a 12-sided die and some tiddlywinks and you just trade back and forth some sort of imaginary metacurrency. As long as it feels like we're there, then you could possibly call it old school. I don't know. That's